Confidential. Let's go with lab notes next. So this next batch of samples could be interesting. They were taken from a nearby spire with a distinct red color. Its color comes from a species of red plant indigenous to that area. It releases many of these red spores, which color the surrounding landscape. There's nothing else like it on Paradise Island. I've laid out for our initial examinations, which I'll commence after lunch. In the meantime, I'm submitting all the raw data from our analysis so far to memorize it. Per standard practice, I must say, what I've seen so far is both curious and rather intriguing. And then, I think this was that it was a confidential memo to local managers. As you're all aware, important work here at the lab is being hindered by a handful of incompetent, quarrelsome, wholly irredeemable personnel who become a liability on our quarterly reports. Normally, I would transfer such resource-draining employees to frontline combat, yet that is not an option with hostilities at a standstill. Rather than further demote these sluggards and sycophants to even less industrious positions, I appealed to their base natures by inviting each to participate in a promotion acceleration program, ostensibly a series of outdoor skilled building exercises located at spires around the island, with the promise of molding these select staff members into VP material. In reality, perhaps 5 hazardous wilderness exercises leverage participant ineptitude to achieve maximum mortality. Confident Pap will overload our most irksome personnel. As an insurance policy, the final activity is set on the northern tip of the Northern Island, an area infested with corporate Raptidon assets turned feral. Your cooperation in concealing this ruse is much appreciated and also mandatory. Right, so this is by Omid. If Omid is the person who we're saving, I'm hoping we get some options. That's all I'll say for now. We were able to download that data though, so maybe we'll be able to. Maybe we'll be able to like hand it in, and see that he gets justice. I mean, we could always just give him some good old frontier justice as well, right? Let's just lockpick this. I think we can craft lockpicks. Really? I didn't need a lockpick at all. The door's right there. You can tell why these guys were annoyed then, if they were sent off on basically on missions to die. Internal correspondence from E. Linden, mind your backside. Look, you're new here and desire to prove yourself. I understand the impulse. I'm simply saying don't be so quick to seek Ormsby's attention. Bright new hopefuls in this facility have a habit of receiving dangerous assignments or drawing undue blame. Avoid attracting conspicuous notice, wear disguise if possible. Anyhow, I analysed the data from the field team at Red Spire. Seems like the reason for the Raptidon's aggressiveness up there has to do with what they've been consuming. Specifically, a unique reaction between the red spores combined with their preservative-rich diet. Not sure if that stems from the Raptidon chow we used to feed them, or devouring a bunch of our colleagues. Had kind of a weird exchange with Ormsby today. After our morning assembly, he made a remark about how he once accidentally ordered a sample sent for testing to the Pharmacon 5 walk-in industrial microwave, instead of the spectrometer it was meant. It literally blew up in someone's face, but then a rival signature somehow replaced his on the work order. It's not a mistake, he said, if someone else takes the blame. I don't know, guess he is the boss. Instead of worrying, I should probably be taking notes. But if any of these dangerous substances we're working with somehow get loose, then I know who'll be to blame. Anyway, I informed him about the field team's findings, and your conclusions about the rap's aggressiveness. Seemed real excited about it, actually. Like he just heard news about a promotion. Been weirdly lingering around the microwave ever since. You're actually the 4th lab tech he's told that story to. It might make you wonder how someone so incompetent could be so skilled at covering their tracks. But if you can't be one, you need to be the other around here. The key to dealing with Ormsby is realizing that he's a complete fraud. That title, totally of his own devising. That's not unheard of. It's likely standard operating procedure among management, actually. From now, we're stuck with him. So just nod and smile until his inevitable replacement arrives, and yeah, learn what you can in the meantime.
I've counted at least 6 horrendous death screams since you arrived. You must be affected as well.
Okay, so...
You there? Oh, you're likely affected too, aren't you?
Seeing Zeb again went different than I expected. That's maybe out of a pop. Anyway, was there anything else you needed?
We just skipped through that because the we'd already done that before. Alright, so we can make a sample here with a chemical counteragent red spore sample. Speak to this guy who's
You seem an honest to goodness
saying that he was trapped in here.
human being, unhindered by bloodlust, unshackled from their basal ganglia. Well then, by the Loeffler Risk Intercession Act, under Outbreak Provision 5A, I hereby press you into service to aid me in our present crisis. I, Omid Ormsby, Product Envisioner, Department of Proprietary Methodology and Audacious Advances, am your interim supervisor.
You've changed your tune a bit since sending that distress signal.
Oh, all that pleading and the like. Yes. Well, it's only my 2nd time trapped in a laboratory basement, and I do admit, I did panic just a little. But back to the exciting news about this incredible new opportunity. You working for me, as an aide-de-camp of sorts, on a brief yet no doubt exhilarating assignment.
Yeah, how did you get trapped?
Whole thing was ghastly. One of my assistants and I heard a loud noise. He left to investigate while I continued working on our experiment. When he failed to return, I peeked outside and saw the others run in, bloody, gibbering, hunting for targets. They'd clearly been exposed to some virulent new form of experimental agent. I ran back and locked myself in this test chamber to avoid contamination.
Yeah, a visionary lab like this gets to set its own agenda, right?
Well, you'd certainly think so, but management sets the goals. Our humble research team works to deliver.
Alright, so tell me about this innovative science you're working on.
Our lab had been researching the red spores that grow nearby to see if they might contribute to future Auntie's Choice products. As per usual, we threw precaution to the wind. A local spore sample interacted with a wonderfully preservative-rich diet of Auntie's Choice personnel, inadvertently leading to a chance reaction causing profound irritability. To a somewhat homicidal degree, it would seem to appear. By that measure, our work here could be considered a moderate success.
You must be visionary scientists to succeed in such haphazard fashion.
Well, of course. Succeeding in a haphazard fashion is one of the first courses taught to Auntie's Choice students in any field. But yes, I am something of a visionary. You see, our lab is a far cry from the others. You're part of something bigger here. The individual not only thrives, but shines even more brightly with the help of their brethren. It all requires a certain devotion. In the end, it's really quite in the best interests of everyone's careers. A rising tide raises all boats, as they say.
Yeah, I think the word you meant to say was manipulation.
Speaking of the team, such as they are in their present deranged state, how did you make it past them? You know, without being killed.
I don't like this guy, so I often don't lie to people, but I'm going to lie to him. I walked in without incident. Everyone was very nice to me.
I find that highly unlikely. Some failed attempt at levity, perhaps. to mask fear. No matter. What matters most is getting out of here alive, saving our researchers a close second, and curing my remaining colleagues a firm third.
I'm sure your subordinates find that attitude quite inspiring.
As you're now one of them, I'll take that as a compliment. But enough glad-handing me. Regarding what we need, well, it should all be rather straightforward, yes? I suspect we'd use a top-down indirect coronium synthesis method, don't you think?
Sure.
Oh dear. It's occurred to me this might benefit to some extent from medical training. Are you perhaps someone well-versed with pharmacological matters?
I read a chapter once on phrenology.
Oh, really? That's very interesting. I believe that long since discredited, but, you know, such things often come back into fashion. Apologies. I do tend to assume everyone has a doctorate. No matter, if you are capable of following simple instructions, I'm sure I can guide you through it. Tremendous. Well then, before we roll up our sleeves and determine what's needed, any questions?
Yeah, I want to know more about the program.
Oh, my favorite topic. By all means, fire away.
What's it for?
Our lab's focus is the utilization of local flora and fauna in development of commercial products and proprietary methods. Anything else before we set to it?
So this laboratory is some kind of repurposed silo?
Yes, the Protectorate formerly utilized it for seed storage or something equally prosaic. Nothing as provocative as groundbreaking research. But as much as I'd love to natter on, we probably ought to get matters underway.
Okay,
We'll
let's find out
need
what we need to do.
fresh samples of the red spores and the findings from the expedition that originally uncovered them. After that, an antidote should be possible in relatively short order, with your skilled assistance, of course.
I collected all the findings from the
Oh,
expedition.
exceedingly fortunate.
Well, I
Just
think I
one
actually
thing
did.
left
I think
to
I
gather
found
then.
in...
Spore samples may be taken from a
They were all over the
roadland
place. There's some
indigenous to an area of
raptidons.
tall rock formations northwest of here.
Yeah, okay.
Once we have an antidote firmly in hand, we can save my remaining colleagues. So best not murder them all in the meantime.
Yeah, this is there's a raptidon in there with him. Oh, so I could have got here.
Fast and breaking
I
things.
came through, maybe snuck through that door instead of what I did do. Okay. Let's go get the Arc access. And if I need to actually box off a quest rather than back and forwards like this, so we'll go do that. Head over to get the auto mechanical parts and we'll go hand them in. And then from there we'll head up, get the red spores, bring them back, and see what happens after that. Looks pretty cool over there. A wind farm. Cyranium is a... Oh, now it tells me what it is. Yeah, it is this. Cyranium is a dangerous hazard that's found throughout Arcadia, powering the Protectorate's auto mechs. Standing in Cyranium poisons you, lowering your maximum toxicity. Too much Cyranium poisoning can prove fatal. Visit a doctor or auto attack to remove any accumulated Cyranium poisoning. Some clouds are denser than others. And that explains then why there was a bunch of why there's a bunch of that stuff then at the bottom of the bridge, because all of the dead droids that were in there. Disable drone.
Sequencing attack strategies.
Oh, get in there before it... Drone operator log. We established a temporary base of operations as close to Fairfield as we deemed possible without risking detection. We then began directing small clusters of drones to harass the enemy at random intervals. None of these could be considered major incursions, but we unquestionably garnered the ire of anti-choice forces there. Mind that you handle them with great care, as they've been tuned for heightened hostility in accordance with the current task. An unintentional drop or fast movement could set them off. Okay. Oh, can we open these? Oh, I think I disabled them too soon. That's so sad, all that loot is trapped in there. Oh well. I have to remember to talk to the captains whenever we get back to Fairfield. Well, we didn't see any quests tick off with that, so maybe they like actually won't do anything still.
Confronting threat.
Seems nowhere on Paradise Island's going untouched by this war.
Emergency protocols ready.
I'm the one you need to worry about. You lot couldn't hit the broadside of a freighter.
Back out. Let's leave it. Okay, so this was the guy had said that we were unlikely to be able to get the thing from here if we told everybody what had happened, because the guy, by the way, I mean the leader of Westport, because they deemed him as being a traitor. But it looks like that doesn't matter anymore because everybody's kind of been wiped out.
Ready to waste them on your command.
Barge shut. Must be another way in then. Big blue door. That'll likely be it, right? Oh, it's part shut there too. So what is actually in there? Oh, it's a wrapped. Okay. Moore made what he likely thought was a joke in the barracks. During this refrain, he slightly referenced a document that as yet remained uncensored on his terminal. Whether this lapse was caused by sheer hubris or the subconscious seed of antisocial behaviour is unknown. Nevertheless, it is a clear violation of the trust placed upon it by the Council. Recommend mental refreshment, followed by transfer to another division. Johnson spoke in his sleep last night, words that sounded vaguely of his duties within the ministry. This may show a proclivity towards either unwitting disclosure or deep-rooted discontentment. Recommended mental refreshment. Adams confessed that he's having trouble sleeping because he can't stop thinking about being watched through the newly installed two-way glass. Undoubtedly, this is a sign of a guilty conscience. Recommend mental refreshment.
I'll take fighting raps over living in a surveillance state any day of the week.
Yeah, again, just more reason to really dislike the Directorate. Well, somebody's still alive.
Ain't as tough as you thought. Hey you! Get over here before you get yourself killed.
Oh. In a minute. We're looking for loot.
Damn idiot. You wanna die? Be my guest. I ain't gonna be around to save you. No, you ain't got what I need.
What is that?
You can't come stumbling around here looking like prey. These raps ain't had a bite to eat since their
What's
pods
on her
dropped from the
back?
Look of it. And a desperate rapt is a dangerous rapt.
You look a little disappointed.
That obvious, huh? Yeah, I was hoping there'd be something worth harvesting. Something worth the trouble of killing the poor creature. But hope is the father of disappointment.
I don't want to be so rude and say what's wrong with your arm. Let's see if we can ease our way into that conversation. Are you some kind of hunter?
If the occasion calls for it. But I fancy myself something of a biologist. Or at least I used to. Me and Raptidons, we're well acquainted. I know their patterns, behaviors, attacks. Know what gives them an edge around folk who ain't in possession of that knowledge. Which is why I gotta ask, what are you doing here?
Yeah, I could ask you the same.
Cute. Though I did come here for another job, it's true. I'm Inez Silung, Auntie's choice. Former combat medic in the Enhanced Soldier Division. Now, menial troubleshooter. Minister Milverstreet of Fairfield sent me here to retrieve some information. Not my most exciting assignment, but suppose we can't expect much with the stalemate on this island. I'll admit I was eager for some good hunting around here.
Oh.
My arm, my graft, needs some bolstering.
This
But if
is the
raps here are
grafted
as weak as
soldier.
this one, it won't help me none.
Why is this place littered with Raptidons anyway? There's nothing here but paperwork.
When there's paperwork, there's enemy secrets. And dropping Raptidons on the place is a quick way to stop any personnel keen on destroying those secrets before we find them. It's a kinder fate than if they survived. Allowing us to walk off with this intel would surely land any survivor in front of the firing squad. Or sent to mental refreshment.
Mental refreshment?
As far as I can tell, it's the polite name for re-education camp. If you've got the misfortune of being protectorate, you live under the watchful eye of the Sentinels. You even think of stepping out of line, they pay you a visit and send you off. To where exactly, ain't sure. But you'll be getting obedience kicked into you. And apparently there's some highly sensitive intel about mental refreshment hereabouts. The minister sent me here to find it.
I'm surprised he sent you here in the first place. Don't see many of you around.
If you had, you'd know. Unless you're accustomed to seeing folk roaming around with exposed muscle fibers or stunted extra limbs on their backs.
I gotta ask, what's the third arm do?
Other than punch a hole in my armor, cause Huel at the saloon to yell in consternation, not much, at present. I'm considered a liability. My graph's all wrong. Most everyone else who got one passed or became permanently incapacitated. So they shuttered the program. It was a total failure. Everyone in Fairfield reckons my time will come soon too. But I'm still mostly upright. For now.
And now you're looking for a chance to prove them wrong? That's about right?
I just know I can do more for Auntie and for the war. It's just this damn contract. Unless I can amend it so I might fix my graft, proving myself ain't happening anytime soon. Weren't many of us grafted soldiers to begin with. To think I'm one of the lucky ones.
You mentioned an enhanced soldier division. Could they not help you out?
No. Enhanced Soldier Division was the fancy public-facing name for the grafting program. And when I say it was shuttered, I mean completely fucking demolished. Bet they'd erase it from the financial records if they could. It was that much of an embarrassment. In the wake of such a failure, it's left us grafted folks with no support. I only been able to treat my own ailments thanks to Doc Tinsley in Fairfield. She worked for the program for a time. She's a good one.
Have you asked her for help?
She's bound by contract to work on whatever task Fairfield's illustrious leader set her to, nothing else. But she also ain't quite got the hang of the employment thing.
Surely a contract can't stop you from looking after your health.
You looked at the fine print of an employment contract lately? It says any action taken by a worker that could result in impeded work must be approved by the contract holder. Not only would trying to fix my graft impede my work, but it's also financially unviable, unproven, a risky investment. So I'm stuck with a limb that's slowly poisoning me. Could pursue fixing it myself were I out of my contract, but if I attempted to end it, I'd have to waive all employment rights for the next year.
Good.
That's a non-starter.
Come join my group. Being trapped by plenty of awful contracts in my time, it's not so bad going independent.
They're right. Suppose if you've been in my position and managed to do well for yourself, could be an option worth keeping on the table, if all else fails.
Yeah, hope things work out. See you around.
Get the feeling you will. Go on now. There's probably plenty of Protectorate info waiting to be scooped up if you're keen. Just mind the raps. I got what I came for, so I reckon it's time to see about my contract. Law knows I could use a lucky break.
Just me, or did Inez remind you of Helen? Tough like her. Shame she's from Andy's choice.
Engaging combat protocols.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just get...
What's up there? Do I get XP for their kills? Yeah. Very nice. There's loot everywhere. It's so good. No, it's barred shut, but it was barred shut from the other side. So where's the bar? I'm playing this on hard, and there's loot everywhere. Like I just said, there's like bullets, and you know, I just don't feel like I'm ever going to run out of bullets. If anybody knows that, like on the harder difficulties, is there less loot?